Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have a very special treat for you. What we're going to do today is I'm going to give you the straight talk on the Omega Vert 330 juicer. And we have a couple different models here. We have the original Vert 330 with the upgraded Vert 330 HD over on this side. Then over here we have the Lalanne juicer. So I want to compare the different machines for you so that you'll know the differences because it is very important. So first we'll start with the Lalanne. So the Lalanne you may have seen on the infomercial. It basically has a 3-inch wide feed chute, which is nice because you could put things like whole apples in there really easily. But the problem arises when you want to juice something like the leafy greens. You literally put leafy greens in there, it'll basically spit out whole chunks of leafy greens, and it's not very effective at juicing leafy greens. How this machine works is if we take the top off, you can see basically put the produce through here, and then it runs into this plate right here, and this plate has shredding discs on it. They're actually quite sharp. Then the produce is then shredded up, and as it's shredded up, the pulp is kicked out of the back, and then the juice actually gets pushed through this screen here, through the holes in the screen, and then it comes out the front. Now this machine is a fast running machine, runs at several thousand RPM, so it's running really fast. And these style of juicers tend to make a lot of noise in your kitchen. So if you're trying to juice early in the morning when the rest of your family or your roommates are asleep, forget it. It's not going to be too good. The other thing regarding that machine is that because it does run so fast, it tends to add some oxygen to your juice, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Of course, any juice you make fresh at home is always better than a store-bought pasteurized juice, because the store-bought pasteurized juice has been basically heated up to kill all the enzymes. So while it does kill the enzymes and some of the nutrition is lost, it's still definitely better, to drink a store-bought juice than, in most cases, a lot of just store-bought juices could have other things added, preservatives, and actually they add sugar and all this kind of stuff too. But in most cases, a store-bought juice is going to be better than a Coca-Cola or a soda or something like that. But that being said, a fresh-made juice, whether any of these juicers, is always the best. That being said, the Lalanne juicer also does have a short warranty, so it could be only a few months long. So that's also something to really take into consideration when you purchase a juicer. Why? Well, the main reason why I think a long warranty is important because a juicer is an investment. And it's an investment in the most important thing that you own free and clear. That's your health. Not any amount of money, because you know what? If you're in the hospital, possibly at the end of your life like I was, you're really going to think about what's really important. And all that money in the bank or anything that you own is not worth anything if you don't have your health. I mean, years ago I was in the hospital. I was diagnosed with spinal meningitis. The doctors told me that I might not make it out of the hospital alive. I was lucky enough, actually through higher powers, because at that time the doctors had no treatment for me. Higher powers gave me a second chance, so I'm here to educate people about juicing and the benefits of eating more fresh fruits and vegetables in their diet. Because after I got out of the hospital, I kind of reshifted my values in life and what was really important to me. And health, let me tell you, my health became one of the most important things to me on earth, one of my most important values, because I figured out in the hospital, nearly maybe not making it out, I learned that my health is the most important thing that I have, and without it, you can't love anybody, you can't have any friends, you can't interact with family, you can't save the world, you can't do anything. So I really encourage you to value your health and, put it first. Because if you don't have your health, you can't care for your kids, you can't work, you can't make money, you can't enjoy the money you make, you can't do anything. So that's why a juicer with a long warranty is very important. So both the Omega Vert juicers, they have a full 10-year warranty, so that's a really long warranty. And once again, you're assured 5 years down the road, you're going to wake up and you're going to want to juice in your Omega Vert juicer because you're going to be juicing some fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, making positive changes in your life so that you will be healthier because of these machines. And if you buy a machine with a short warranty, 4 months after you buy the Lalanne, say it breaks, guess what? There's no warranty. You're going to have to buy another juicer. So you're going to have to invest a lot of money in another juicer. So I would encourage you to just, buy a juicer once, buy a good one. You'll never have to buy another juicer again. And that's why I like the Omega Vert juicers for one very important reason. They run at a low speed RPM. These are called slow juicers. They run at approximately 80 RPM. So once again, I said this is several thousand RPM. This is 80 RPM. So it runs very slow, and it's a different extraction process. So let me go ahead and show you that right now. How this works is you basically put the produce in here. Now it does have a smaller feed chute. This is an advantage in some situations, especially when juicing things like leafy greens, because this machine does leafy greens really well. Another advantage actually to this is that it's almost auto-feeding on some produce items, as you'll see in a minute. The way this machine works is totally different. So you can remember this machine had a fast-spinning blade assembly here that's all separate pieces, and a basket that it spun the produce through, or spun the juice through. This one works a lot differently. So it basically has an auger, a single auger. You literally put the produce in here, the auger spins around, it basically chunks off pieces of the produce and compresses this produce into a smaller and smaller space, and literally just squeezes the juice out of the produce. And once again, that juice is then pushed through this screen, the juicing screen here. And then even on the Omega Vert, it's high tech actually. They got this automatic wiping system. So these silicone wiping blades go around and keep the screen clean, basically to allow you to get more yield out of the juice that you're making. So these are like windshield wipers for the juicer, much like the windshield wipers on your car. Really cool. On this machine, basically the juice comes out of one side here, and then the pulp comes out of this side. Runs really slow, it's not going to fling pulp all over, really nice and easy. And the main reason why I like this machine is because it's very versatile. Number one, you could juice things like leafy greens, does a really good job on leafy greens, does a great job on carrots, even juices things like apples. But more importantly, one of the things that like this style juicer really doesn't juice well are the fruits. And in my tests, and I have many other videos on YouTube, you might want to check out, me using the Omega Vert, juicing all kinds of things from loquats. You ever had a loquat? Those things are delicious. The juice is amazing and phenomenal. To juice like things like pineapples, peaches, all kinds of different things you can juice in the Omega Vert juicer. So let's go ahead and put this machine back together. It's very simple. It's very important you assemble this properly. So always when you're assembling it, there's a few holes on the bottom. You got to line these up with the little keyways here on the motor base. Real simple, real easy. It lines up, and then you kind of turn it to the right to lock it in place. Next, you need to assemble this whole assembly, and this is the juicing screen. Now, this is a standard juicing screen. It's white in color. Now, the white juicing screen comes with the normal Omega Vert 330. And this juicing screen is good, and the Vert 330 is good for people that want to juice maybe once or twice a week. If you want to juice once or twice a week, this should last you actually many years and give you many years of service. So after the screen, you put on the wiping blade system. That goes in there really easy. Then you put the auger right in there. And then there's a little red dot on the top of the juicing screen. You're going to line that red dot up with the red dot right on top of this juicing bowl. Line that up. It snaps into place. You're going to push the auger down into place. Really simple, real easy. And then you really got to pay attention here. There's this little triangle on the juicing top. And this triangle, then you need to line up with the red dot. Once you line it up with the red dot, you turn it to the right, this direction. And then there'll be a little arrow pointing down to this close on the back of the machine. It says close right there, and the arrow should point to that. Now, if you do not assemble the juicer properly like this, you're going to turn the machine on and nothing's going to happen. That's because there's a built-in safety interlock switch. So say you put this top on like backwards, and you line up this wrong one this way, and you put it on like that, it's not going to turn on. That's like wearing your ball cap like sideways. You see those kids wearing their ball cap like sideways, they're like, what's up? They're just not shooting straight. So put your ball cap on and put the juicer on and assemble it correctly. It's going to turn on and it's going to work all right for you. Next thing over here, we have the Omega Vert 330 HD juicer. And the HD juicer is identical to the 330 juicer except for one thing. And that one thing is this juicing screen right here. All the other parts are identical. The instruction manual is identical. Only thing is the juicing screen. The auger is identical. And as you can see, this juicing screen is a translucent yellowish color. Now, this juicing screen is 8 times harder than the original juicing screen in the Omega Vert 330. And so this is the HD screen, or heavy-duty screen. Now, this heavy-duty screen is meant for people that want to juice every single day or 5 to 7 times a week. You're like thinking, hey, what if I want to juice 3 to 4 times a week? What do I get? Well, then I'd recommend you get the Omega Vert juicer, because basically this screen is a lot harder, and one of the problems that the original Omega Vert 330 had, if you juiced a lot with it, is that the screen would crack. Now, if the screen does crack due to normal wear and tear, like you're juicing things and it just breaks, you're not like putting things in that you're not supposed to put in, then the manufacturer will cover it and replace it under warranty at no charge to you. But then what happens is you got to send your screen in, they got to like inspect it, see it is bad, then they'll send you another one. So you'll have some downtime, so you won't be able to juice every day. And I think it's really important to get into a habit of juicing every single day. Just make it part of your routine. If you do this for like 2 weeks, you know, just juice every day for 2 weeks, then it's like you're going to expect your juice, because you're going to drink the juice, you're going to feel great, and you're just going to want to keep doing it. Plus, making your own juice is less expensive than buying juice at a juice bar, and it's definitely healthier, in my opinion, than buying packaged or bottled juices. So let's go ahead and reassemble this. Once again, same exact thing. We're going to put the wiping blade system onto the screen. Then we're going to put the auger in. So this one also has the red dot right there. We're going to line up the red dot with the red dot here. Push that into place, lock it into place. Once again, take this arrow, gray arrow in there, line that up with the red dot, turn it, lock it into place, and we're all ready to juice. So next, let's start juicing with the Omega Vert 330 HD juicer. What we're going to juice today are 1 pound of organic carrots. So this is about 1 pound of organic carrots, and also some collard greens. So they're definitely really good. For a minute, let's go ahead and talk about the benefits of juicing. Now, juicing was my first step in some major lifestyle changes that got me healthier, because as I mentioned earlier in this video, I had spinal meningitis and I almost didn't make it out of the hospital alive. When I did make it out of the hospital, the doctors told me that I had complement immune deficiency. So those are some fancy words for basically a chronically depressed, weak immune system, where I was more susceptible to catching any disease, whether it's meningitis or anything, you know, more so than the common person that has a stronger immune system. So I kind of already had a disadvantage. So I really needed to get into juicing, and then, you know, including more fresh fruits and vegetables in my diet and other diet and lifestyle changes to become healthier. And I'm happy to say that I'm probably here alive today because of juicing and my dietary changes. I fully believe that with all my heart. And I'm here to share the message of juicing with you because I'm happy to be alive today at all. So the main benefit of juicing is that it allows you to get more fresh fruits and vegetables into your diet and into your family's diet. Now that's very important because these are nature's foods. These are foods from nature. I just picked these collard greens out of my garden. So there's nothing fresher than growing your own food. And I would encourage everybody watching this video to grow your own food, or grow at least a portion of your own food. It's actually quite delicious and tastes better, and when it's fresh picked, oh man, it's just out of this world. It tastes so much better than the stuff. Have you ever had a tomato from the store in the wintertime and it just kind of tastes blah and really has no flavor? And then have you had another tomato from maybe a friend's house, a neighbor's house, or maybe you grew tomatoes before and it just really tastes like a tomato, like a fresh picked tomato? Well, that tomato that you bought in the store has been fridged, shipped across the country, and then you eat it, and the tomatoes in the store today are basically bred to travel and not spoil, not to crack, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, they'll almost bounce off the ground. So the advantages of growing your own food are far and wide. I mean, number one is the taste. Number two, I mean, just going to cost you less money. I mean, some packets of seeds you can get at Walmart for 20 cents sometimes. In any case, you know, juicing allows you to get more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. And you know, how often do you eat 1 pound of carrots? I mean, I like my vegetables and I like carrots, but let me tell you, it's a rare day that I eat 1 pound of carrots. But what the juicer allows you to do, it allows you to take the nutrition out of this 1 pound of carrots, and you're going to just drink this nutrition in the form of juice. Basically, the juicer separates the juice from the fiber, and it's the juice that feeds you. All the fiber, it goes through us, and we need fiber in our diet, don't get me wrong. It's definitely good for the roughage, you know, it's kind of like the broom that sweeps us clean, because, you know, once again, we drink or eat foods, and we're nothing more or less than a juice extractor, because we're supposed to chew our foods good into a mush, get into a mush state, but most people don't chew their foods enough. That's why a juicer is so beneficial, because it does that for you, so you don't have to chew, But that being said, you should still chew your juice or swish it around in your mouth and basically mix it up with the salivary amylase in your mouth, because that's going to help your digestion. But anyways, anything we eat, you know, one side comes out the liquid and one side comes out the solid. So I mean, our bodies are nothing more or less than a juice extractor. And when you have a juice extractor to do it, you know, you're just going to be able to better access nutrition in the fruits and vegetables that you're juicing, because there's little villi in your intestines that basically are little like hair-like strands. You can think of like your nose hair, you know, in your intestines. And these little villi only extract or absorb the nutrition out of things in a liquid state. And that's why juicing is so beneficial. In addition, juicing is so beneficial because most people just don't eat 1 pound of carrots a day, or they don't eat their greens. I mean, when's the last time you had a big salad of collard greens? I mean, you've probably never had a salad of collard greens. I eat a salad of collard greens at least once a week, if not more, because I have a lot of collards growing year-round here. But anyways, juicing your collard greens and other dark leafy greens, which are some of the most nutrition-dense foods on the planet, is another way you could access the nutrition in them. So if you've been into a Whole Foods store lately, they're now doing what's called the ANDI chart, or ANDI, stands for Aggregate Nutrient Density Index. And the ANDI chart, basically they score different things in the store, different foods in the store, from like 0 to 1,000. And for example, collard greens, kale, watercress are 1,000. So those are the most nutrient-dense foods in all of the Whole Foods grocery stores. And these are the foods we want to eat, the most nutrient-dense foods. And if we eat these without chewing them well, we're not going to absorb the nutrition. And that's where the juicer really comes in handy. So a juicer could help you eat more greens and vegetables really simply. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into juicing. Show you how simple it is to use the Omega Vert 330 HD juicer. Once again, we're going to juice 1 pound of carrots and like 4 collard greens. Now, when you're juicing with the Omega Vert juicer, you're going to notice a couple things. Number one, it's really quiet. Let's go ahead and turn that on. It's nice and quiet. The other thing I like about the Omega Vert 330 HD juicer, it's literally self-feeding. We're going to just take this carrot, drop it in there. Look at it. I'm not even using my hands. It's just sucking it in there. The pulp is coming out this side, and it's basically giving us the fresh carrot juice. Now, fresh carrot juice is just simply amazing. Some carrots that you get can taste sweet as, like, in my opinion, sweet as milk. But some carrots you could get basically taste like dirt. So how do you know if you're going to get sweet carrots or carrots that taste like dirt? That's a good question. As I mentioned earlier, I always recommend you purchase organic produce whenever possible. And my favorite brand of carrots to juice that taste sweet as milk are the Bunny Love brand carrots. So if you can find the organic Bunny Love brand carrots, you're going to be taking some good, fresh, sweet juice. You can see here we just put one of the collard leaves in. And when you are juicing in the Omega Vert juice, you want to rotate while you're juicing. So we dropped a couple carrots in, then we basically roll up one of these collard leaves, and then we put that in there. And you can see, look at that juice, man. It's like orange, and then it's green on the top there. That's because we're juicing these. And there goes another carrot, literally self-feeding. I really like that. Drop that carrot in, no hands, takes it in, sucks it in, relatively quiet. Works really well, really extracts a lot of juice from that produce. So the collard greens and other green foods are really rich in chlorophyll, and I really like chlorophyll. It has been said that chlorophyll is really helpful in detoxification. So let's go ahead and put our last piece of collard greens in there, real nice and easy. We'll take a carrot once again, drop it in there, and check it out, just taking that carrot, juicing it right up. Once again, we're going to put another carrot in there. And you know, when you're juicing with the Omega Vert juicer, you want to slow down. You don't want to just take all these carrots and shove them in at once. You know, you want to let the juicer have some time to work. It's like when you're chewing up some food in your mouth, you know, you don't just stuff your mouth full of like another bite while your mouth is still full. And that's what you're doing if you try to feed things too fast in the juicer. You know, it's going to kind of overload the juicer, and it's not going to be effective and not going to work as well. The key to learning when to put more produce in the Omega Vert is to watch the outlet chute where the produce is coming out. Once the produce stops coming out of the outlet chute, then it's time to put in another piece of produce. Sometimes I'm even a little bit quicker than that. What you could do is you could look down the chute, and as soon as you don't see anything else, then you could put something in. But the best time is to wait until the outlet stops. The produce, or the pulp coming out of the outlet stops. Here's the last carrot once again. It was really simple, as you just saw. I just juiced 1 pound of carrots and 4 collard leaves. And you know, I like my juice straight up, just like that. You know, 4 collard leaves, you know, and 1 pound of carrots makes a really delicious juice for me. But if you're not that hardcore, you might want to like add an apple. So you can easily just slice up this apple and once again feed the apple in to the Omega Vert juicer. And once again, you're going to rotate the produce that you're juicing. So you're going to put like 1 carrot, 1 collard leaf, a piece of apple, then start over with 1 carrot. And just keep doing the different produce items. And whatever you're juicing, you always want to mix it up. You don't want to just juice all your apples, all your celery, all your kale, all your carrots. It doesn't really work like that. The juicer likes different fibrous materials to come in at different times because some fibers are easier to get pushed through the juicer than others. I think the Omega Vert juicer is done juicing. Let's go ahead and turn that juicer off and let's check it out. There's our glass of carrot juice and collard leaves. Wow, that's nice and delicious. So the juicer is an excellent way to get more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables into you by juicing them. Now, once you make this juice, I encourage you to drink it right after it's made for the highest benefit. Once you break open the cell walls of the carrots, of the collards, or anything, what's going to happen is it's going to start to oxidize. So you guys that work in body shops are going to know this. If you like sand down a car down to the bare metal, right, and then you put it outside and it's humid outside or it's raining outside, right, you'll get that rust layer. And that's the metal oxidizing. The same thing happens to your juice. Once you break open the cell walls, now all the nutrition basically in the juice starts to oxidize, for lack of a better analogy there. And you know, oxidized juice is not optimal, so it's always best to drink your juice as soon as possible. What if you're saying, hey John, I gotta go to work every day, man. I can't just make juice 3 times a day and drink it fresh. Well, I'd say bring a juicer to work and see if you can juice on your breaks. But if you can't do that, the best way to save your juice is actually to put it in like a nice cold thermos, fill it up to the brim, almost overflowing, and then put your top on so that there's no airspace inside the thermos, and keep it really cold. And as long as you drink it that day, you're going to be alright. But you know what? The best is always to drink your juice right after you make it for the highest benefits. So hopefully you enjoyed this demonstration, learning more about the Omega Vert 330 HD, the Omega Vert 330, and the Lalanne juicer. Once again, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors that you can apply to purchase the Omega Vert 330 HD or the Omega Vert 330 to save additional money off your purchase.